to say, but let's just switch into Chelsea. Chelsea, they are back, winning back to back against Fulham and against
Now Chelsea go win Champions League this year.
and against Derby. We know Chelsea to have their own issues. Owners spending over $1 billion, and they sit 12th on the EPL table after 8 games. And looking at the fixtures coming for Chelsea, starting from after the international break, facing Arsenal, and I know they're going to face Man City, face Tottenham, face Brighton. It's a loaded fixture up until December 6th. So, good times for Chelsea, Chimamaka, to be back. Are they back? Is Chelsea back on track?
Well, back? Nah. It depends on your definition of being back. Now, I think I've been saying some things regarding Chelsea in the past podcast. I think I need to start sounding positive in line with Chelsea's statement. Now, what I'm saying so is this. This Chelsea Football Club we have now is a couple of young players who are expected to actually come in as a unit after a few years. So if I, as a Chelsea fan, is expecting so much from them now, then I'll be shooting myself on the foot. It will be very wrong of me to actually be expecting so much, despite the fact they have spent that certain amount of money. Now, the truth is, before these guys came in, we had an Ibrahimovic who spends also, but spends on experience. There's a difference. So, if you are buying inexperienced, talented players, it only tells you that you should not be looking for anything this season or even next season. But you should know that he will build on the momentum these guys have harnessed this season with a good manager and not changing of managers. Then from after 2 years, they will come into play. So, like I said, I've been saying it, I'm not expecting anything from Chelsea this season. If they beat Arsenal in the next game, beat Man City or beat whoever they beat, it is only a confidence boost for the team. No, that's the truth. Except you want me to just talk all banter. No, this is the reality on ground. If you're expecting anything from Chelsea Football Club this season, then it's a big joke. Except something happens. First, it is I wouldn't like to make comparisons to the Arsenal we are celebrating today. Yeah, they've not won the PPL yet. But we knew Arsenal 4 or 5 seasons back when they had Unai Emery before this guy came and took over. Arteta came and took over. Arteta had to use exactly. Now, this is Arteta's 4th season. In his 3rd season, he made the 2nd spot. It tells you it is progress over time. Now, we are talking this season now. Imagine Akin is saying he's lonely at the top. They've not won the league yet. But it is beautiful. It's beautiful having that notion in your head. You don't want the league. I don't know if you get. You don't want the league yet. He's not at the top. Who tells you that you are going to be at the top? No problem. But the truth is, I'm talking all in the space of in space of progress. There has been progress, and that is why you can say what we are saying now. I don't know if you understand. There was a time Liverpool was doing the same thing too, until they decided to just drop a little. I don't know if that's going to go back up there. But it's the same thing. So for Chelsea's part, no. Let's not just.
But the manager has been talking tough. He's been talking tough. Like he said, back-to-back wins.
No.
Fulham, Burnley. I know, with all due respect to Fulham and Burnley, I know they are not that kind of opposition that you could want to compare your season to say your season have really kick-started. Because if you look at Chelsea, I know they faced Liverpool. That was their first game, and after Liverpool, looking at the fixtures they've had, I think it's been easy, kind of, with all due respect to the teams they faced. And I heard Pochettino talking over the week. I don't know what press conference he attended, or maybe where he was interviewed, and he was saying he has what it takes to stop the winning streak for Arsenal, and he has what it takes to defeat Arsenal when it comes to the London Derby. I know it's a test for Chelsea come October 21st. And do you see Chelsea? Because really the players will need to make a statement, because we know everybody has made a meme out of Chelsea. Caicedo, Fernandes. When this purchase was bought, when this purchase was made, they said Caicedo and Fernandes will be the best midfield combination in the EPL. Even the pundit in himself, Michael Owen, alluded to that. He said, theoretically or hypothetically, the duo of the two will be the best midfield combination in the EPL or in the world, if I quoted him right. And we've not seen any shades of that. But do you think the players will see this as an impetus, as something to challenge them to say, yes, we need to go into this London derby and defeat Arsenal?
Yes, truthfully, yes. What I'm saying so is this: first, they're coming from back-to-back victories. It is another confidence booster. Now, if they're going to be facing Arsenal and they see it as a very good challenge to continue winning streak, it's a good one. Now, despite the fact we know that Arsenal are flying high, they've not lost any game this season. Who knows? This might be their first loss, and it might just be a shambolic mistake like this guy had. What's his name? Jorginho had against Tottenham and cost something. It's football. That's the truth. It's football. Let's not say, okay, did anybody expect Arsenal to beat Man City after 12 attempts? No, bro, you also felt this way last game.
A few percentage. Even I, as an Arsenal fan, I never saw us getting the W.
That's true.
To be true. To be
sure
sincere.
So let's start with the truth. Except you want to like yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. You understand now with Saka injured. So these things we are talking about, it's football. Anything can happen. Did Wolves tell you that they will beat Manchester City?
Nah, they wouldn't have expected in their wildest dreams.
But now, as it is now, there is more than enough confidence boost from the Chelsea players, and also wonderful confidence boost from the Arsenal side too as well. So these are two teams that are coming in to just come and stake a name. One team would have to go with a victory. I don't want to draw in that game. Truthfully, I don't want a draw in that game. I would love a victory from my own team. Yes, that's the truth. So it is more than enough encouragement for the young boys to come and do something. Yeah, we can say Fulham is this, Burnley is that, bro. They are also EPL teams. So you cannot shove that under the carpet and say Arsenal will come and this and that. The funny thing, the game can end 1-0. As Man City Arsenal ended in favor of Chelsea, but that is from my own end as a Chelsea fan. So let's don't over believe that because you beat Man City, you are going to go on that. No, bro, you're going to face some tough task, and I can tell you, Chelsea will be a tough task.
The context here is Chelsea. You know, looking at the start of the season where they were a bit wobbly, going 2 games. I think they've gone 3 games, successive 3 games domestically in the EFL Cup, and also 2 back-to-back wins in the EPL. That's a confidence booster. And I think Arsenal, Akin, I'm coming to you. I think Arsenal should not, look at Chelsea as a team where you think, they started the season wobbly, the players have not gelled, they're going in there, going with a swag, thinking you can pick 3 points. It's not going to be that easy. Do you think Chelsea are back, Akin? Do you think Chelsea will give that? Do you think Chelsea are more of a stiffer opposition this time around as compared to the previous seasons where Arsenal has gone to Stamford Bridge? I think Arteta has won 3 straight games in Stamford Bridge. Do you think this time around is a banana skin fixture for Arteta, looking at what Chelsea has done currently?
Okay, one thing I know about Mikel Arteta is if he's playing against Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, Chelsea, he takes all his games with seriousness. He's not the kind of manager that's going to say, this is a team that is a very, very detailed person. He knows he wants to win. He's young in management. He wants to win. So he's very, very detailed. And obviously, to be stupid of him to go into the game and say that, they've had a rough start to the season, so he's probably play Kiwior instead of Zinchenko. He's going to go with his best. And like Chimamaka said, anything can happen in football. And I trust that both teams are going to go they're going to put their best foot forward. So whoever wins, big ups to them. And then to the question, are Chelsea back? Genuinely, Chimamaka said something about Chelsea are trying to grow and things. And I'm a finance guy. And one thing, this just came up in my head, a bit of Fela motivational quotes and stuff. You don't buy growth, you build growth and stuff. And what Chelsea, what they've tried to do over the past 2 years, they've tried to buy their growth. And trust me, it doesn't work that way. You can't tell me you're buying someone for the future at £100 million. You can't do that. Like, this is the Premier League. This is not like a Portuguese league or something. This is the Premier League. This is like the biggest league in world football. This is where winners are coming to play. And then if your team is, so to speak, that big, you don't say you're spending so much, investing so much on youth. You buy your experience. And Chelsea, I think their transfer outlay over like the past 8-9 months is almost 1 billion, if not more. Like, even Manchester City, they've not spent that in the last 8 to 9 months. You can't spend 1 billion and be languishing.
But their net transfer has been good. They've sold well.
Yeah. Aside selling, and that's the issue. That's the issue. We has to be consistent. Like, it's just now like everything is just it's just like chaotic. You're buying, you're selling, you're buying some players. I know there were some issues last season where they were saying, last season, the latter end of last season, where they were saying that the dressing room was too small to accommodate like all the players they had. Like, trust me, you don't do that. Your transfer outlay, you spent about 100 million on 3 players in the space of 1 year. And you're in 15th and you're telling me that's good. That's not good. That's stupidity in my own. Like, you're not growing. You're just spending and spending with nothing to show for it. Trust me, if it was Arsenal that did that, or Manchester City, or Manchester United, it would have been like a whole different ballgame. You can't spend so much and come and tell me that. Like, I really want them to go, but then if you're spending so much, you have to bring out the results. You can't spend £1 billion on like. Okay, so what's the plan for good if you're spending? Is your plan for good just spending money? I know it's like tactical reasons, like to grow, like other reasons to grow, or is just money being spent? Like, okay, and at a point it looked like Woli's like transfer strategy was just, I don't want this other team to get this player, so I would rather get that player and make my team like look better and stuff. What's Chelsea's plan? Like, genuinely, and this is not even from a place of hate or anything. It's just like, first of all, they've saturated like the transfer fees in the market. Like, players are going for higher fees because they're saying, if Chelsea can pay this amount of money for this player, why can't our player go for this amount of money? It's very, very unfair to other teams. It's very, very unfair.
In that case, I would like to cut you. It's not unfair to other teams. If you have the funds to spend, why don't you spend it? Now, you're trying to condemn a team because they spent 100 million. Let's forget that. Let's not forget that it's football. Now, a player that you rate 100 million today, who does well in the next 2 years, is not going to go for 100 million. I hope you know that. Such kind of player would not be in the market at 100 million. I hope you know that. Now, if you look at these players they are buying, I didn't tell you that they went to Arsenal's academy to go and pick Arsenal's academy players. No. On your own, you're an Arsenal fan. You rated, what's his name? Mikhailo Modric. No, Mikhailo Modric, who Arsenal was ready to spend 90 million on. But because Chelsea nicked them with 100 million, you are bitter about it. Why? He's a young player as well. Hold on, before you cut me. Because you didn't have the financial capability to buy that player at that stage doesn't make you talk down on the player. Secondly, you would not rate less of Enzo Fernandez, who was bought for 100 million. I can tell you as an Arsenal fan that he's a player, even at his age, you would love to have in your team. So you cannot take away the talent that this guy masterminds. You cannot take away the talent that these young players masterminds. I'll take it on that 100 million player. Moises Caicedo. Will you tell me that in the full EPL last season, you are going to talk less of that guy? So you cannot, let's know what we are talking about. They are not just buying players because they feel like buying players. They are buying the best players in their position, which, in my opinion, as a Chelsea fan, is a plan for tomorrow. If you tell me you are going to buy a level of 21-year-old players to come and win the league in their first trial, bro, you are a joker. That's the truth, because we know the EPL can be toxic when it comes to marking. So EPL football is not something you come into and expect a miracle to happen. It's not going to happen that way. So these are guys that at 21, now if you look at them, these are players who are given 6, 7, 8-year contracts. So it is not, they are not telling you they are buying these players for the next 3-4 years. No, they are telling they are building, and in the case wherein they have to sell at the level at which they would be in, they'll be going at better amounts, which is also a profit for the football club. So if now you're going to judge these talented players on what you are saying and telling me that it's all about today, you've spent this day, I can tell you for a fact, Chelsea will not spend 100 million next tomorrow. They spent all they have to spend on players now, so that they build these players in the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And you're telling me that they buy a bunch of 21-year-old players and you say miracle to happen now? Is this, bro? Is a lie. You are a financial sector. These men you are talking about are also finance guys too. These are guys who know the business when it comes to finance. So if you are trying to tell me for footballing reasons, I would understand you. But for financial reasons, you have no say, bro, because these guys are way better than you are financially.
I
so
think
don't say that.
Martins has something to say.
Martins, one minute. Can I say something? I say something?
All right, I'm with
you. Okay. Yeah, I hear what you said, but there's something like the elder said. You don't like rob your future now to please your present, and I think basically that's what Chelsea. You're saying they've spent everything they're going to spend on players now. Trust me. How will I put this? You spent a lot.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Or you implied that? Was that what you implied?
Yeah. I implied that. What I said was Chelsea would not go all out to start spending 100 million on more players as it stands. No, it's not going to happen again.
But they're looking at Chimamaka. They're looking at reinforcing in January. You know, I talked about in part of what we wanted to talk about. If Jackson is the next thing that can take Chelsea to the next level, and we hear they're trying to go in for Osimhen for over 100 or close to 150 million pounds.
Imagine. Sorry. It is. I'm so sorry. But then you can't.
What is Osimhen's market value?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It still supports. It kind of supports what Akin is saying. If we're to take this in proper context, you know.
Okay, I'm listening to you.
Sorry.
Martins has something to say.
Okay, Martin, you come.
No, when Akin,
you were saying something.
Okay. Was saying that like Chelsea spent like all the money they want to spend on something, and then they're still looking to get Osimhen or get Tony. Trust me, if you put Arsenal and you put like and Chelsea and Brentford puts Tony up for sale, if Tony is going to Chelsea, he would go for a higher fee than he would to go to Arsenal, because I don't know like how they're negotiating deals at Chelsea or something. I don't know how they're negotiating deals. Trust me, when they walk into the negotiation room for Osimhen, the first thing that will come out of the mouth of Napoli transfer chief is something that you bought Mudryk for 100 million pounds. Napoli is 10 times the player Mudryk is. We expect you to pay 150. So you're shooting yourself in the foot. Trust me, you will not be competitive in. You can't say because you want to build your growth or buy players that are, so to speak, work like. And that is why I love Manchester City and I love Arsenal. And you're saying you said something about Arsenal not being financially able to compete with Chelsea for the Mudryk. Trust me, if you look at the back issues of the deal and what the Shakhtar president came out to say, it was not about finances. It was about the war going on in Ukraine. It was never about finances. It was never about finances for Arsenal. If you're spending so much,
it was about the what?
It was about the war in Ukraine. Chelsea were willing to pay a bonus.
No, we don't have facts. We don't have facts to prove that. But
that's the I would like to cut you there because it's a 10 million difference.
Can we just let Martins has something to say? Martins has something to say. Can we just let Martins chip into this whole Chelsea? Are they back on track, really? And I know you had something you wanted to chip in when we were talking about finances, money, this, money, that.
Yeah. So the thing is, it will be too early to say they are back on track, considering the quality of Premier League opponents they've played. No disrespect to those teams. The Premier League is a very tough league. Every game is a tough game. You understand? But if you consider, the fact still remains the fact. You understand? I will not say they are back, but those 2 wins were very important. And the way they went about them, they were very convincing wins. You understand? It's good for the confidence of the players. That's about that. But I wanted to chip in on the quality of players they've signed. When you spend £1 billion, Chimamaka, I'm saying this to you as a fact statement. If you spend £1 billion on players, you need to have, by standards, one world-class player in every position on the field. World-class players, emphasis on world-class players. Akin is a finance guy. See, they are dishing out 7 to 8 years contract to these guys.
Yeah, they claim they
And the owner of the
found a
club
loophole in the FFP rules.
Yeah. See, let me tell you something. This is hearsay. I've not done my forensic investigation to justify this, but this could be a money laundering scheme. Yes.
In your opinion, Martins. In your opinion, right?
In my opinion,
Okay.
yes. In my opinion, it could be a money laundering scheme. You understand? I said something about Man United the other time about not necessarily having football people running things at the club. At Chelsea, since Marina had left, Marina the lady, since she had left, I don't think there's been a proper person running the club when it comes to football decisions. You understand? You can't spend £1 billion on players, and you are saying that when you start expecting results, it's 3-4 years from now. It doesn't work that way. It is not a documented fact. It is not a documented rule, but it's just a thing. With £1 billion is a lot of money, Chimamaka. It's a lot. Let's not fool ourselves. £1 billion is a shitload of money. You spend it, you get results. Even if those results are not short term.
Did Ibrahimovic spend up to £1 billion, Chimamaka?
It did not in 3 transfer.
And he won how many trophies? 20?
He won a lot.
Now, I would like to interject you there. I'd like to interject you there because first of all, coming in when these guys came into the,
I think we lost him.
Wow.
Okay. While we're waiting for him,
okay, he's
back.
He's back. Yeah.
We lost you a bit.
Am I clear now?
Can you just start all over again?
Okay, now.
But we've run out of time. Let's just see how we can round this up, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to say because now we are all are talking about £1 billion spent in 3 transfers. Now we know that ideally, even as a person, three transfers, 1 billion is a whole lot.
Yeah.
And if they are not utilized as expected, you realize it is money that is going down the drain. Truthfully, except you want to lie to ourselves. Now, the one of the principal owners, in person of Todd Bully, I watched the 45 minutes interview wherein he came in and said he has made these certain mistakes at the beginning of owning Chelsea. Now he has learned from his mistakes. Why did he say that? Because there was no football guidance in taking over the club. The moment you took over the club, you realize that those who are handling football matters, in person of Peter Cech, Marina Granovsky, Bruce Bock, and the likes, we are all eased out. And this has felt taking over as this thing would work that way and to grind out success. No. Now, that is the first mistake. They spent that amount. It is done. We are trying to move past the amount they have spent. If they spent £1 billion for the football club, it's a good thing. As they spent £1 billion, Chelsea has also sold. So let's look like it is just £1 billion spent and money has not come in. Now, talking about the loophole that we are talking about that you feel is money laundering, do you know that Declan Rice's first deal with West Ham was a 7-year deal?
Sorry?
That was right.
Nobody. Declan Rice's first deal with West Ham.
At what age?
Hold on. No, it's not at what age. It's not. He had left. He signed a professional contract. Understand that? A professional contract. Now, he signed that and he was given a 7-year deal. There was a loophole there. But
maybe we might need to cross-check that because I don't think that Declan Rice deal is a 7-year deal. I don't think so.
No.
The deal he signed with West Ham. Find out. No, not to us now. I said his first deal with West Ham, his professional deal was a 7-year deal.
But he came in from the academy. It wasn't as if he came in from another club. He came in from the academy, and that gives rights.
Declan Rice, West Ham.
Hold on. He signed a professional
But at that
contract,
time,
which means
but
his academic his academic contract was dissolved. Like what's his name? Levi Colwill in Chelsea. Just let hold on.
Let him land.
No, just to like the whole like is a different thing entirely. The Declan Rice contract and like the Chelsea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Chelsea contract. They're two different things. Two different things entirely.
Okay. It's out of that. I'll give on that instance. A Chelsea player, Kepa Arrizabalaga, was signed on a 7-year deal. I don't know if you understand. So these are loopholes that were in existence, but nobody utilized them. Now, why would the EPL eventually come out and tell you that the loophole will be blocked by next year summer transfer? Because they realize that actually it is actually a loophole. Now, how many players in the world are given lengthy contracts, 7+1, 8+1 contract, year contracts? It only means that despite the amounts they are signing them, those amounts wouldn't read until the 8th full year of their contract. So signing Moises Caicedo for 115 million is spread over 8 years.
The amortization thing. Yeah.
It is spread.
The amortization. God bless you. It's spread over. It's spread. Hold on. It's spread. That look at the money in record for Chelsea Football Club. It's spread over the amount of years of contract. So you should understand that. That is why the EPL is trying to block that loophole. You realize that such loopholes favors any team that uses it. So if you are trying to say it's money laundering, no problem. It's in your place to say that. But on that contract, I'll tell you, it was actually utilized because there was a loophole. Now, leaving that aside, coming back to spending a £1 billion, I'll be very factual with you. If Chelsea cannot do something in the next 2 years, I will tell you it's a waste of money. But for now, I wouldn't say that. Because these are 21, 22-year-old. And again, if you guys follow Chelsea Football Club, you realize that the signings they try to make are players who are less than 25 years. So it means something. If you're going to be spending $1 billion and they don't bring in experience, or you let go of the experience you have, it means they have a plan.
But the argument
it's not my plan.
The argument here is, you mentioned initially that they've spent what they want to spend and they are not going to spend that. You wouldn't see Chelsea spending a player over 100 million. But like we hear in the news in January, Osimhen, Ivan Toney, Chelsea needs a striker.
Yeah.
Chelsea cannot depend on the two strikers they have at the moment, Jackson and the other one that just came back from the ACL. So like and Akin is making a valid point here. If Chelsea goes to Napoli, for instance, or goes to Brentford and say, okay, we need Osimhen or we need Ivan Toney, if the precedence is there, and you don't expect Brentford to sell or short value Ivan Toney, they will double up the amount because they know there are other clubs too coming in for Ivan Toney in the likes of Spurs. Spurs too are looking at strengthening the striking position. Arsenal too wants to strengthen in the striking position. So definitely it will now be bidding war. And he who brings the highest amount of money gets him. And that is what Chelsea have set